Blue seas, clear skies, and boundless possibilities. I dare say our destination will soon be in sight.
Enjoying yourself for a change?
You have a moment to speak further. Look, my friends. Behold the scene of our next great adventure.
You and your adventures. I trust you have not forgotten the true purpose of our voyage?
At last, we are come to the land you call the New World. My home. Tural.
of Dawn Trail and the thing you're most looking forward to. But before you hear from me, let's see it on video.
それではどうぞ。
The second job of Dawn Trail will be ranged magical DPS wielding a brush, the Pictomancer. Yeah, at Las Vegas Fanfest, I wore a very mysterious t-shirt. I feel like it was a good hint for both jobs. Pictomancer was the only job to debut in Final Fantasy VI. In FF6, Pictomancer used their brush to draw their enemies and therefore use their techniques. FF14's Pictomancer has a bit broader of painting skill. They can paint not only monsters, but landscapes and other things, not just the enemies that they are currently facing. And they also have a very unique appearance. And the Scion Kryl has become Pictomancer. Because Kryl could never fight before, right? She was always sort of stuck watching things at home. I think she probably tried really hard to take on this new role. I'm seeing people saying, why isn't Yoshi P cosplaying the Pictomancer? But honestly, I think it would be a little bit difficult for me as a 50-year-old man to portray the image of this job. But in my place, we do have a wonderful model who will be showing off this job gear.
ご登場いただきましょう。どうぞ。
Let's call her out.
いや、さすがでしょう。
Wow, impressive.
可愛いの声ありがとうございます。どうですかって見てくださいよ。無理でしょ。
See, this wouldn't be a good look on me. Everyone keeps saying, no, it'd be fine, it'll look great, please stop. So our model here is wearing the job outfit for Pictomancer. How does it feel?
良い。
Good. My gear was also of high quality, but man, this is impressive. If you could stay up here while we finish introducing Pictomancer, that'd be great. So let's look at the details of this job. So this will be ranged magical DPS using the gear of casting. And they have a special weapon that is their brush. I see you all on the stream saying you wanted to see my midriff. Please stop and pay attention now. So there is no requisite class for this job. You can just start from the job itself. Starting level will be 80. And the job quest will be beginning in Gridania. So long as you've completed the requirements, you will be able to pick up this job right as soon as you get into Dawn Trail. It's been a long time since we had a job quest start in Gridania. The job quests themselves are also very unique, so I hope you'll look forward to that. Now let's talk about what they're like in combat. As we mentioned, the Pictomancer concentrates Aether in their brush to release their power by drawing pictures. It is the magic of an artist. The Pictomancer in 6 was drawing just their enemies. But regardless of what enemy they're facing, FF14's Pictomancer can draw creatures, weapons, and even landscapes. We have quite a few original visual effects for Pictomancer to really make it look like they are drawing. Of course, in order to create a work of art, it's going to take some time, but to go along with that, you will also have instant cast spells and abilities. And the Pictomancer does not simply attack, they also have magic that can buff their party. We wouldn't say it's a full support job if that's what you're thinking, but it is not quite so attack-focused as something like Black Mage. Who's playing ranged magical DPS right now? Pictomancers cannot res you. So I think you have a good idea now in your mind of what Pictomancer might be like, so with that, let's take another look at the video.
どうぞ。
So let's move on to the story of Dawn Trail, which will feature myriad characters. As we've mentioned, we will be giving you the greatest summer vacation a Warrior of Light could have. The site of this vacation and our new adventure will be the continent of Tyrol. And the reason we will be going there is for the right of succession for a nation over there. And the person who has requested our help is her. This character is Wuklamat. She's the daughter of the current ruler of Tyrol. I feel like I haven't seen this before. Is it a Mikote? そうですよね. I think it's just a really, really fuzzy Mikote. Don't worry about it. So in this right of succession, we will be competing with other various contestants for the throne. And there will, of course, be a lot of revelations and various dramatic turns along the way. Of course, as a contest, we do need people to compete against. And so I hope you'll look forward to finding out how exactly the other Scions play into that competition. As for Wuklamat, who we've introduced today, you will be able to meet her in patch 6.55 part 2. She is a very strong character, so I hope you look forward to getting to know her. Okay, so you're wondering, I'm sure, when is patch 6.55 coming out? It'll be coming out on January 16th. Obviously, after Fanfest is over, we are all going to be passed out, so we're taking a week and then releasing. And also, we are planning to have a 24-hour maintenance for this patch. This is because we will be replacing the entire Japanese data center infrastructure with newer machines. We're sorry that it's such a long maintenance, but this will contribute to future stability and our ability for the servers to handle things like items and housing, so we ask for your understanding. So let's take a look at some new information about Tyrol. So on the map, you'll see that it is to the west of the three great continents. And on the left is what we've shown you so far.
こちらですね。
But Tyrol is actually a very massive continent expanding from north to south, and we will be going that full length during our adventure. So this is the full new map. And this is the new player hub that we introduced, Tuliolol. Tuliolol actually functions as a bridge connecting the north and south parts of the continent of Tyrol. As you saw in the trailer, there is a literal bridge. So the Tuliolol will be at the center of our adventure. It will span from north to south of Tyrol. Though there's a degree of unity between the cultures of the two due to certain developments that I will not share here, there will be major story developments in both North and South Tyrol that will change the story significantly, so you can almost think of it as a two-part structure. Of course, the whole story overall is one unified story, but you may feel like it does have two distinct arcs when you play through it. So let's both review and take a look at some new information on field areas. So far, we've only been able to show you a few clips and screenshots, but we've put together all the materials we have so far into a collection that we will show you now. So we've taken a look at some natural scenes that really speak of adventure. But those were areas you've seen before, so let's look at some that you haven't. These are pretty different from what you've seen so far, and for that same reason, we can't tell you a whole lot about them. Please understand. We'll start with a video.
どうぞ。
Yeah, so that was a pretty sudden change of visuals there. We really can't show you a lot of specific objects from this area because it would be spoilers, but we can tell you it's called Solution 9. This too will function as a town, much like the player hub of Tuliolal. I will explain it just a little bit. So this has been constructed by a totally different civilization than Tuliolal. I think you can probably tell just by looking. But maybe have a think about why it might be called Solution 9. And we have one more screenshot to show you. I feel like we are loudly destroying any mental image you might have had for Dawn Trail right now. Like I said, we can't really show you specific objects in this setting because it would be a spoiler, so we've kind of erased them all, and this is just the background. But are these buildings? Is this a facility? In any case, it's quite different from what we've seen. But, you know, as for what this place actually is, what sort of story will take place here, you'll just have to imagine for yourself something that is quite different from what we've seen thus far up to Sex Point X. And I'll show you one more area now. This is the concept art. And this area is called Heritage Found. It's pretty mysterious. There seems to be a steam-powered train. And it certainly looks like the stuff in the foreground and the stuff in the background were constructed by different civilizations, but this is all one area. This area is absolutely replete with lightning energy. But I can't really give you any more explanation than that, so we'll just take a look at a few more screenshots. And you'll just have to take this in the spirit of there are a variety of areas coming. So far we've shown you a lot of fields and natural scenery, but as you can see here, there's also these very unique areas with cultures intermingling. It looks a little bit like Garlemald, but not quite. And Garlemald was very black and red. In our second screenshot here, in the background, you can see that same thing, whatever it is, a tower maybe. But even in an area as strange as this, we have people living their lives. This is not a dungeon. I wonder what kind of big fish you can fish up here. There's also this, and that's all I'll tell you. But what we've shown you is that Dawn Trail will have a variety of areas and things to experience, so let your imagination run wild. But now that we've talked about the areas, let's talk about the people who live there who might become your potential allies. We've already introduced the Pelu Pelu and the Moblins. So in this area, there is a deep-rooted culture of giants, though they're not called giants, they are called the Yokhui. We also have these colorful folks who look quite similar to the Vanu Vanu, and indeed they are called the Hanu Hanu. Yes, so they are called the Hanu Hanu. But the most important part of this are the Mamulja. The most prominent example is, of course, the current ruler of Tuliolal, the two-headed Gulul Jaja, but there are plenty of other Mamulja of all shapes and sizes. What we're showing you in the screenshot is but a small sampling. In the story, I think you'll find that the Mamulja are very diverse, including their perspectives and values. I'm really looking forward to seeing how meeting the Mamulja will change your adventure, and also how you specifically will feel about them and what you will take from this story. The progress on dungeons is going quite well, actually. I'd like to show you a video. This is of the dungeons that are well underway, and also that will not be spoilers for you. I will tell you I have a message from Soken, which is that this version of the music is just a draft. It's not done yet. Now let's take a look at a few enemies. So we have the ones we've introduced so far, Valigarmanda, Eliminator, and there are also some interesting monsters outside of the major bosses. This thing looks like it lifts, perhaps too much. So this super buff Sabotender is called the Barrel Tender. I can't imagine it will do much rather than just punch the heck out of you. I think it's not just the NPCs in the new environment that are exciting. Part of it is experiencing these unique monsters as well. And of course, while you're fighting, you will want these duty support updates on your journey. Given that Kryle has changed to Pictomancer, I feel like she will be making her duty support debut. Congratulations, Kryle. I have a lot of feelings about Kryle. I feel I really owe her one, so let's use this to pay her back. I think you'll find these updates very useful when progressing through the story. Of course, as it's an expansion, we will have a lot of new gear and recipes. So all of the new gear that is implemented in 7.0 will have the graphics update applied to it, so definitely take a look at that quality once you get in game. These are still in development, but we did bring a few screenshots, so let's take a look. Right, so from the left, we have Summoner, Samurai, Sage, and Gunbreaker. It's a little bit hard to tell from the screenshots, but each element of these outfits in terms of textures, quality, and details are really much improved. I think especially the quality of the cloth really stands out. Of course, over the course of your adventure, once you have time for a break, I hope you'll take a close look at this gear. That would make the devs really happy. So here we have Machinist, Reaper, Astrologian, and Paladin. I think the quality might be easiest to see with the Machinist. And we will continue brushing up and improving this gear right until release. Of course, it won't just be job gear. We'll also have plenty of fashionable gear for you as well. We have told you that there will be expansive new lifestyle content. And finally, our plans have come together, so we do have concept art of that to show you. Wow, where are we going now? So as perhaps you can guess, the next lifestyle content will take you to various different planets. If it was just one, you wouldn't get much variety in the scenery, so we thought we'd give you a bunch so you could get a sense of progress. You're thinking, oh, all right, let me go on an adventure to the continent of Tural, but let me just pop over to this other planet also. The name of this content will be Cosmic Exploration. You can, of course, play this content solo, but it's really intended for everyone to work together to make progress. And with each update, the star that you were working on will change. It'll be a little bit different than the main scenario, but definitely keep an eye out for this and think about what kind of places you'll visit and what will happen there. Next, about our new Alliance raid. So as we've told you before, this Alliance raid will be based on FF11, who is our great senpai in the field of MMOs, having been running for 21 years now. We've been progressing on this development, and so we have various concept art, of which we'll show you one today. Those of you who played FF11 will probably know, but this guy is called the Shadow Lord. I'm sure you're very interested to know how he shows up, what other characters you'll see, and what the story is overall. So we will give you more details in future PLLs, but for now, just know that Echoes of Vana'diel is coming from 7.1. And we have another new story coming with the 8-man raid. This is really different from our art for the expansion in general.
GPU って言ってる。
Is this a GPU or what?
グラフィックボードが起立してるって言ってる。
I definitely see a graphic board in there. You all know a lot about this hardware. But what is this? I'm sure you have absolutely no idea. But that thing you think looks like a graphics board, that is actually the stage for our raid. The raid title has been decided, and it is The Arcadion. What sort of story will it be, I wonder? Of course, there will be a myriad new characters coming with this raid, and the story itself will be a complete FF14 original. Of course, we will have the normal mode for you to enjoy the story, as well as the higher difficulty Savage. We will be releasing Normal and Savage in sequence about 1 month after 7.0. If it was at the same time, you'd feel rushed, I think. So that is our 8-person raid. And we will have a new Ultimate raid. The planning and development for this is already moving along. As for the theme,
何でしょ
what will it be?
う聞いてみよう。ゼノス
Xenos. Eden. So part of the story from Eden will be our theme. I'm sure you remember this art. And so the title will be Futures Rewritten Ultimate. As you know, this is also the name of patch 5.4 and along with its art. This is, even now, a popular story and very popular characters. So please look forward to what we will do with them in this raid. We are planning to release this Ultimate in 7.1. So we hope you'll take your time with it. And we've received a lot of feedback on this subject, so we want to talk a little bit about new field operations. I've mentioned this a bit in interviews, but in 7.x we will be introducing something in the style of Eureka and Bolzia, a new field operation. This will be something for a lot of players to participate in simultaneously in order to clear. So please wait a bit and we'll give you some more information. Yeah, the times have really changed, because I remember when we started with Eureka, everyone was like, oh, Eureka? But we saw it through to the end, and we worked hard to develop the content into something that a lot of people ended up enjoying. And we have taken a break for a while, but it will be back now, and we look forward to developing more similar field operations. Okay, just one more announcement content-wise. So we announced before that we will be having a new limited job released in the latter half of 7.x. Today we will tell you just the name of this job. Beastmaster. As a limited job, of course, we are proceeding with plans to allow you to play solo or in parties with other limited jobs. As it is Beastmaster, we are thinking of having some kind of collection feature to go with it, obviously. Once we have art and more information, we will share it with you. So it is proceeding quite well, but as a massive update, we're currently contending with bugs. But I'm sure you want to see how all the different races are coming along. So on the left, we'll be showing the current or original version, and on the right, we'll be showing the new version with the graphics update. So as you can see, the hair is a lot more clearly defined, and also the texture resolution is significantly improved, and the face looks more natural now. As I've said before, we could do more, change things more, smoothen things more, but we do also want to keep the image of the characters the same. So honestly, if you think, oh, it doesn't look that different, that's kind of a good thing. Also, the starting gear for each race will be included in this graphics update as well. Here's the original.
そしてこちらがアップデート版となります。
And updated. As you can see, the hair texture, as well as the way that the volume is portrayed, are quite different. And also, for each race, we've made some improvements to lip shine. And also, if you take a look at the shadows on her cheeks, you can see that they are much more natural now.
さあ続いて
Now we have a Highlander male
新しいバージョンがこちら
with the new version. I think the muscle definition, as well as the shadows that go along with it, and the shine of the skin are very clear here. Yes, before we sort of had a mishmash of textures looking there, but it's a lot smoother now.
さあでは続いて
And now for a Highlander female,
こちらがグラフィックスアップデート版となってい
and
ます。
updated. As you can see, it's become a lot more natural, especially around the hairline. And around the eyes are also the features are much better defined, so that will allow you to get a lot more specific in your character creation.
さあ続いては
In male,
こちらがグラフィックスアップデート版
and the updated version. What I would notice most about this is obviously the details of the hair, as well as the characteristic ears. The cheekbones as well, we were having some polygon issues before, but they look much better defined.
But-
He might look a bit younger and fresher than before.
続いてはエレゼン女性、そしてアップデートされたエレゼン女性、こういった形です。
The updated version. So with the increased poly count, I think it's become a lot more natural, and it should be easier for you to get a sense of realism with your character, or perhaps realism in an FF14 sense. Previously, the shadow with the bangs was not very natural, but now it is much improved. You can also see, if you look at the collar of her gear, you can see the improvement to the material quality of the leather. With this update, it's not just like there's leather that has a singular texture. There are a lot of different qualities of leather that we were able to portray, and cloth as well. So definitely take a close look.
では続いて、元からイケメンの代名詞であるミコって男性です。
It's pretty good looking already.
こちらがアップデート版となります。
This is the updated version. But the lip shine, the hair and its sort of fluffy texture, and the sharpness around the eyes are all improved with this new version.
ではミコって女性見ていきましょ
And let's take a look at the Mikote female. The original
う。そしてこちらがアップデート版です。
and the update. Right, so with dark skin, previously we only had the ability to sort of change the color of your skin, but now we have this improved shine and depth, so that even if your character is in a dark environment, you will still be able to see the features of your skin. Yeah, if you look at the screen on the back here, it's the same lighting really, but they look totally different.
さあ続いて、
Continuing on to a Rugadin male.
そしてこちらがグラフィックスアップデート版。
This is the updated version. I just feel like generally we have powered him up. In general, all of the limitations we had before had a really significant effect on Rugadin faces in particular, but I think that the update has really improved them. I have a friend who is really obsessed with Rugadin, so I look forward to seeing how he will adjust his character in light of these updates.
はい、では続いてルガディン女性いきましょ
This is current.
う。そしてアップデートにより
And
こういった形とな
So similar to the males, each part of the female face was really affected by the limitations we had. But because we've been able to improve each part, they now blend together better. It looks less like they're just sort of a bunch of objects and shapes assembled. Also the skin, overall how it looks, sort of the clarity of the skin is also improved.
続いてララフェルです。ララフェル男性です。
Next, Lalafell male,
こちらがアップデート版。
and updated. So we actually tried so hard to update this that we maybe can't tell the difference. The hair is probably the easiest to tell the difference, but the skin and eyes have also been improved as well.
とにかく
We tried really hard to maintain the image we had of Lalafells while still making the individual improvements. So while maintaining this sort of cute and doll-like appearance of the Lalafells, we did make adjustments to the eyelids to make them look more natural. We rounded out the face a bit better. Honestly, it took 3 separate tries to go over and over this until we got it right. If you take a look at the gear here, you can see that the cloth, similar to the leather from earlier, is much improved.
ララフェル女性いきましょう。このようになってます。
It was been updated like this. As with the Lalafell males, we wanted to prioritize making them look more natural while still keeping them very cute and lovable. And we think we've opened up a lot more possibilities for more delicate character creation now. So with the dark skin, I think it's pretty obvious the quality of the skin on the face and the depth of the structure there. Do we have a lot of Lalafells here?
はい、では続いてアウラ男性です。こちら、アップデート版となってます。
And here's the updated version. So as you can see, the texture of the dark skin is improved, and also we've been taking on board your feedback from what we showed previously, and we are continuing to improve the horn and scales. I think the improved textures really help out with the horns and scales. I hope a certain man can find his Nama now that he's graphically improved.
いきましょう。こちらがアップデート版となってます。
So these Aura females already had quite a smooth and delicate appearance, but we think we've been able to improve that even still. We've used some special shaders for the eyes, so while you can still get that look that you're used to, you can also get something slightly more defined in the eyes, like on the updated version example here. Because we are aware that among the Aura players, some of you really like that currently dead and soulless eye look that they have. If you adjust your parameters correctly, you can still get that, so just give it a go. And in general, with all of the races, please look forward to adjusting your character to your preference. You want to get into character creation, don't you now? We're still working out the details, but I do want to get every one of you a free Fantasia along with this. Obviously, even though the update will overall raise the quality, there's still the possibility that it won't give you exactly the look that you want right away. So we do want to give you that Fantasia so that you can go into character creation and adjust your character to suit exactly what you imagine. Next, we have a Hrothgar.
こちらがアップデートバージョンです。
And the update. Similar to how we had these distinctive eye shaders on the Aura, for the Hrothgar we have distinctive fur shaders that will make their fur more realistic.
はい、続いてビエラ男性です。
And the updated version. So the shadows, of course, are much more natural, and also the distinctive features of the Vieira are much easier to draw out now. So please do go in and make the Vieira of your dreams.
では続いて、こちらがアップデートバージョンです。
And the updated. So as you can see, she's quite dark-skinned, and our new shaders can handle that level of dark skin. Honestly, historically, 14 has been pretty bad in terms of displaying this type of dark skin. You enter a shadowy area, and it all looks bad and falls apart. But with our new shaders, that will not be an issue. And even with the already dark skin, you can see the effects of lighting and shadow are very natural and look good. And now also with the graphics update, we will talk a little bit about our 2-die channels. I've brought some sample images, so let's take a look. So on the left, we have the original, and then in the middle, we have the 1-die channel die affecting the cape, which allows you to color the armor as well. So this is the original status of this gear. And with our current dye capabilities, you can change just the leather color. However, the clothing itself would always remain white, but now you can dye both. So yes, I think you can see the contrast now, and you might be able to judge me for my color choices. Here's the original for a different piece of gear, and how it looks to dye it right now, just dyeing the cloth bit. But in the future, this is what it will look like with 2 dye channels. So the reason that the entire leather is not dyed is actually because the middle piece is a different material system-wise than the rest of it. And this is a limitation that we will still have when creating these new gears with the 2 dye channels. So you'll just have to sort of trust in the aesthetic sense of our design team to make sure that the right parts are being dyed. But even though we can't promise that you will be able to dye every single bit, we are doing our best to make sure that we are giving you the best options possible to customize your gear as much as possible, and with the greatest amount of surface area being dyed. So we are working hard on it, and we thank you for your patience. Thank you. After a long wait, we will finally be implementing the last race, female Hrothgar. We did our best to straightforwardly make these as sleek and strong looking as possible. As you know, what we have for the Hrothgar currently is that they hail from Ilsabard. So you will be aware of this from the setting we have in game already, but female Hrothgar are typically rare, but they do have surpassing leadership qualities. As far as Tural goes, they have a home in Yaktel. So please look forward to meeting them. And of course, you will be able to play as them as well. Making a new race is really hard, and I have continually said throughout these 10 years that this will be the last one. And I'd like to say this will be the last one, but perhaps I can't. It depends on you. Of course, our Wuklamat that we introduced earlier is also a female Hrothgar, and she is really a lovely character, so look forward to meeting her. Okay, and now with that, we are finally done with the keynote.
はい、こちら吉田明子さん書き下ろしのアートとともに騎